Hey, staffingpreneurs. I am so excited. Today is Wednesday, and you know what time it is. The first Wednesday of every month, we answer all of your questions about starting and scaling your very own niche recruitment and staffing business. And today is no different. It's the first Wednesday, I hope it is, at least of the month, and we are getting fired up. So the first thing I want to do is welcome you to this call. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Dee Williams. If you're not familiar, I show professionals and recruiters all across the globe how to set up, run, and scale their very own niche recruitment and staffing business. At least that's what we're talking about today. I do a little bit of everything. So what I would like for you to do is to tell me right now, like, what's your name, where you're chiming in from, and we're going to get started in just a moment. For all of my staffingpreneurs who are here, because you know this is your regular monthly call. Hey, Poos, how are you? What's going on with my staffingpreneurs? I have been live all week in different groups, so y'all hear my voice is going away, but that tells you that I am fired up. So what's your name? Where you chiming in from? For all my new people that are here, for all my staffingpreneurs, hey, I know y'all been in y'all groups this week getting it in. I cannot wait to shout you out and all the amazing things that you are doing. KB Storm is here. AO is here. Nikki Grant is here. Anthony Beck is here. Connect Staffing is here. Who else we got? Ophelia is here. Tia Jackson is here. Tanya is here. Who else am I missing? Oh my gosh, so many amazing people here today. I really want to say hey to everybody. Keep chiming in and let me know where you're from. Also know that this is your Q&A call. So any questions that you have, now is the time. Do not wait. I really need some like sound effects and stuff like that because this is a lot of fun. Hey, Chandra, thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here from Charleston, South Carolina. My brother lives there, and LaShawn from Philly. Y'all are on fire here. Okay, so let's dive into things. So y'all know I typically start this call out with things that's going on in the industry, and that's not going to be any different. But before I do that, I am so fired up with my staffingpreneurs. I just want to give a couple of shout outs really, really quickly because you all are absolutely freaking on fire. When I say you're on fire, it's phenomenal. So first, shout out to all my newbies, my first timers that are here. I want to give a shout out to all of my brand new staffingpreneurs. We just introduced 6 this week alone. So in the past 30 days, we've had almost 24 new staffingpreneurs. Put some love in the box. That's amazing. I know, right? Like all of these people are really impacting their lives in a major way. And I think that that's absolutely phenomenal. So I'm like, ooh wee, this is great. All right. Hey, Precious in Atlanta. Okay, I also want to give a shout out. I think I said for my newbies that are first time here on this live. I want to give a shout out to my upcoming graduates that are in the setup course. So we had one young lady graduate last month in August. I predict we will have 5 to 7 graduating for the month of September. We will do our first official setup graduation. We've done a lot of startup graduations, and this is kind of it, but it's our setup version. And we will do that at the end of this month. So if you are towards the end of your course, okay, y'all know how I am. Let me get in and share my screen here for a second and show, did it share? Perfect. And let's go in. If you are towards the end of your course, and let's go into your courses, you should be, first of all, do not forget, you should be rating this course for my staffingpreneurs. I do not want to have to beg. Please rate the course so newbies that are coming in will know exactly what they're getting out of this course. We have 5 stars so far. Keep it going. Honest reviews. Ugly ones, you don't have to. No, I'm just joking. So when you go into your lesson and you go into your course completion, you should be able to see how far you've completed the course. Now, don't forget that I'm still adding things into the course based on your request. So some of you may need to go back. If you've already completed, you may need to go back and actually make sure you didn't miss anything new. We've added new, which I'm going to talk about in a second for my staffingpreneurs. We've added the new version of the contracts, the fee agreements, as well as the calculator, right? So I just want to keep that going. We have updated the live class, so it should be working now. Someone stated yesterday that they weren't able to get in, but only one person and she got in. So I think the live class is officially working. And so I just wanted to share that with you all so you know that you want to go back in and follow your course completion. Once you get to the end of your course, please schedule your audit so that I can go through your business in detail to make sure that your setup is done properly. Audit is 30 minutes. Long. Someone asked this question yesterday during the coaching call. It's 30 minutes long. When you get to step 10 for the launch page, you will see a checklist that's attached. As you can see, there are downloads here. There is a link for you to schedule your final audit. And there's also a final audit checklist. So you will know exactly what you need to have in order to pass the audit. Okay, so you should be like all in your space, my staffingpreneurs. I am so fired up today. I don't know what to tell y'all. All right, Audrey is here from Madison, Wisconsin. Hey, Fabola from Maryland. Mwah. Rose from California. I'm still in Cali, Rose. I'm still here in Cali. I haven't left just yet. What do you know? We got Satish from India. Hey, Satish, how are you? Montoya Evans is here. We have, yes, the courses have moved to Reskillify. So if you're just chiming in and you haven't been around for a while, we've been talking about this for the last 4 or 5 months. The courses have moved to Reskillify. Everyone who has had a course with me since the beginning of time, all of your courses have been moved to Reskillify, and you have already received an email with your login information and access to your course. And if you do not see it in your inbox, please check your junk folder. I'm just going to tell y'all this just as you know, just really quickly as a tip. A lot of people are looking for information today to try to figure out how to impact their lives and impact other people's lives. You're connecting with these coaches online or with these thought leaders. You sign up for their email address or for their email link, which is perfect, except you don't follow the instructions, which is to whitelist their emails. And when you don't take the time, it takes 2 seconds to whitelist the emails, then you end up missing all the good information that they're bringing to you. They're in your junk folder, I promise you. You would not imagine how many people say, D, I haven't received one email. And I say, check your junk. And I'm like all through there. And I'll ask, did you whitelist the email? They're like, no. So please whitelist the email so you can get all the things that you want. Yes, Nikki, there is well, first of all, it's uploaded everywhere. So you'll be able to see it all everywhere you want it to be. Christopher from Texas. Hey, somebody's calling me from the Chi-Town. Hey, how are you? Okay, awesome. So also really, LaShawn, thanks for following me on Facebook. I appreciate you. And if you're watching me from YouTube, subscribe right now and like this video. I'm about to give you some fire. Okay, also, this is your Q&A call. Put your questions in the box. I am here to answer your questions. Now, let's talk about, I had some more stuff that I wanted to give a shout out to really quickly. Dorica, I just want to, y'all put some love in the box for Dorica. She just got her business license for her staffing business. Give her some love. Okay, you know, I really need some sound effects over here. We need some, let's see, audio. Yes, D. Williams keeps I keep sound effects on point. I keep sound effects on here we go. Let's get some claps in. Yes, Dorica! She got her business license. Yes, Dorica, do your thing, girl, with your business license. Good morning, Sandra from Kingston, Jamaica. I can't wait to get there. How are things in Jamaica? Is COVID like crazy? Are people traveling into Jamaica or not? Oh, butterflies from Canada. I love Canada. I've got clients all through Canada, Toronto, Brampton, all of that. Shout out to you. So amazing that you're here. Yeah, Derica, she killed that, right? She got her stuff going. Also, I want to give a shout out to to Nicole Gibson. Last week during the scale up call, she got 7 new freaking contracts for her nurse staffing business. Let's give her some love in the box, Nicole Gibson. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Nicole. Yes, getting it in. So Nicole's on fire. I also want to give a shout out to Latasha Harris, who also is working on a brand new contract as well. Let's give her some love. Yes. I mean, these ladies are killing it. I'll tell you, especially in the healthcare space, it's on fire. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the Facebook group, in the private Facebook group, who have been sharing your brand new logos and your brand new website designs and asking for feedback. And everyone who is providing the feedback for each of the staffingpreneurs. I just want to give a shout out to each and every one of you all. This community will not work properly without feedback. And we need honest feedback. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Tia as well for always giving very upfront and always feedback, but doing it in a respectful way. So I just want to give a shout out to her as well. And everyone, congrats on getting to the point where you're branding your business and you have established logos and all of that great stuff. I'm so excited for you. And I also want to just give a shout out to everyone in our community who really took the time to invest in their idea, right? And to invest in their dream. I talk about this in one of the email courses that I recently created. When we start thinking about starting a business, just the thought, the idea, I'm going to start a business. You're actually, if you think about it from a birthing perspective, you're in the conception phase. It's like you're having sex. I said it. So like when you're thinking about having the business, it's like the sex phase of conception, right? And then when you say, okay, I'm going to actually start this business. And we had a number of people over the last 30 days sit back and say, okay, I'm beyond the conception phase. I've decided that I'm actually going to invest in myself and into my community and into my legacy. And I'm going to start my very own recruitment and staffing business. And they did. And now they were pregnant. And so they joined my setup course, and they're currently pregnant in my setup course. They are building their logo. So they're getting all the things ready for the birth of their baby. In our world, it takes 9 months for a baby to cook, for a baby to bake. And if a baby comes out earlier than that, that baby is sick. Y'all seen my YouTube video about it, right? In the world of building a staffing business, baby, it takes a minimum of 7 weeks to bake. For some people, it takes about 12 weeks to bake. So you want to give yourself a minimum of 7 to 12 weeks to bake your business baby, to be pregnant with your business baby, which means you shouldn't be rushing into this process. You can't get pregnant, have sex with your mate, and then tomorrow say, come on, baby, get here right now and walk and talk and do things, right? You can't do that. You actually have to feel the joy of actually having conceived a child and actually feeling that child grow over 9 months, going through the phase where you don't feel anything, to the phase of the baby kicking, to seeing the heartbeat, to the sonogram, to, oh my gosh, my back is hurting. Will this baby ever come? And if your baby was like my baby, she sat on my spine. So they induced my labor, but I was pregnant for 9 months, right? And I went through the trials of being a pregnant mom for 9 months. When you are giving birth to your business baby, whatever that time frame is, it's not the time for you to try to push something or to make something happen. Many people that come to me who have already started their business and realize they haven't really started their business the right way is because they had the idea and they went from conception to birth, and they never allowed their business baby to have a pregnancy stage, and it needs that. And we're going to talk a little bit today as you put your questions in the inbox, why it needs the pregnancy stage. What's the importance of the setup stage versus what you do in the business after you actually launch. That's the real conversation today. But before I get there, let's keep this going because I really want to make sure that you have a clear understanding so that you're not coming into this business like misaligned. I want you to be very much so aligned in what you're doing. Okay. So after you have, so your launch date, okay. Your launch date is labor and delivery room. Your husband or your wife or whoever is in there, your family, they're all gathering there in anticipation for the baby. There are balloons, there are flowers, there are live cams everywhere. Who's cutting the umbilical cord? All of that stuff, right? That is your launch day. For some people, launch day is a huge event. It's a party. It's a gathering. It's a live event. It's a webinar. It's a cocktail party. It's a whatever, right? And then for some people, it's just the thought that I'm not going to work for this week or this is my week to officially launch. But regardless, launch day, the idea of preparing for launch day is your labor and delivery. Once you get past the labor and delivery and you get to launch day, it's your birth. The birth of your baby is the first day that you actually start. Now, let me ask you a question. When your baby was born, or your niece, or your nephew, or your godbaby, did that baby come out the womb walking already, talking, dressing itself, with a personality? No, that baby could barely lift his head up if his eyes were open. You had to cradle and hold that baby. When Lyric was first born, I swear, I wanted her to grow up so fast. I was like, all she do is sleep. Oh, 3 months in, come on, baby, wake up. Like for the first 3 months, your baby is sleeping. Your baby is trying to figure out how to adjust to this world, how to grow. So it's very interesting how people come in here and they're like, I'm launching and they expect to make $1 million day one. It's like, babe, your baby's eyes are still closed. He still hasn't lifted his head up just yet, right? So you've got to be mindful of that. Launch is going to take, even though you're launching on today, you have to give your baby about 3 months to get accustomed to the new business world. You have to give, like, you're breathing life into this baby. Y'all hear me talk about that all the time, helping it shape its personality. And how you shape your baby's personality at a very young age is by building an amazing brand, which we go through in great detail in the setup course, right? So your brand, your business brand is your business personality with that point, that comma, that exclamation point, or the little accent thing. It's your business's personality. Your brand is the business personality, right? So you'll see that the brand of your business will start to expand over the course of the 3 months and beyond, because now you are starting to talk to candidates. You're starting to talk to clients. You're going to events. You are on podcasts, you're conducting podcasts, you're on webinars, you're conducting webinars, you're on the phones, you got so much going on. The business is actually moving. Your baby is actually growing. Your baby and getting a personality. You're cuckooing on the baby. The baby is throwing little spit bubbles and you're saying, oh, that's when you actually get a client that actually has an interest in you. Oh, you see what I'm saying? I just really want to put you in your mind in a perspective of understanding that starting a business doesn't mean it immediately flies off. There is a freaking process that you must respect. Okay? And some of you, that growing phase, right? Because as parents, we raise our children from birth until 18 for some of you, 34. I won't judge, right? But, it takes time to grow your business. And if you're starting a business with that thought process, it'll make it very easy for you to really relax and allow the things that are meant for you and your business to actually come into fruition. And that's what this is all about, because the energy, the universe, the higher power for some of you actually put this thought in your mind. You're working together, so which means that you have a place in this atmosphere to impact lives. So you have to think about, what is it going to take for me to actually impact lives at the level that I am supposed to do, that I have the calling to do. And when you're relaxed, it makes it a lot easier for you to live in your purpose than when you are stressed and trying to figure out, how do I get a client? 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 How do I? Like, no, that is not how you grow a business. You don't raise a baby and say, grow up, grow up, grow up, grow up right now, right now. No way. You allow that baby to mature. You allow that baby to make mistakes. You allow the baby to fall. You pick the baby back up. You rub the baby's back. You nurture them. You remind the baby the things that it's supposed to be doing so it can grow and be an integral part of society, right? So that's where I want you all and your thought process to be today. I want you thinking about how your business is going to impact society. Now, I'm going to run through the comments real quick because I didn't read one comment. I just was flowing from my heart and and because I felt like that was something that was really, really important. There are people out here that are actually telling people that you can start a staffing business in a week or 2 weeks. And I promise you those things are not true. Or they're telling people you don't need technology or just go after the low-hanging fruit. Don't fall for the BS. You really want to take the time to understand and build a solid foundation for your business, just like you would for your baby while your baby was pregnant. You were getting the nursery and everything together. If you were buying a home and you got a plot of land, you would make sure that the house was together before you allowed anybody to come in, and your business is no different. And I'm really passionate about you understanding that. Okay. So now, Ophelia said, I love the analogies. Thank you, girl. I appreciate you. Michael Fortune from Fortune Executive Solutions. Michael, how are you? I think you did you tell me you hit your $1 million mark last year? Did you, and you were exceeding it this year? Is that the same, Michael? Is this a different one? I think it is from my YouTube channel. So if that's you, shout out to you. People laughing at me here. Monty says, D, are there? Okay, we're going to get into the questions in 2 seconds. Let's see. I also great example. Exactly. Kimmy and VA. That makes so much sense. Guilty as charged. It's okay, Rose. They were all right. Somebody else said that would be me. So we've had just like a lot of different questions. Cars. I love seeing cars. Hey, I'm glad you're fired up, fired up, fired up, fired up, fired up. We got to get fired up doing this business, right? We can't even play around. Al says she's actually having a baby this month, so she already knows. Chastity is chiming in from Kuwait. Hey, Chastity, so glad you're here. Been watching, so how do we start and how much? We'll talk about that at the end if it's something that you're really interested in, because I only want serious people in my community. People are still coming. Figures are rising here, but nothing compared to the rest of the world. Be safe in Kingston, Jamaica. Let me know when things are safe, and I'll be there to come play with y'all over there as well. Hey, AJ, glad to have you here. Congrats on starting your new niche recruitment and staffing business. Okay, so listen, this is, okay, I'm going into the contracts. How I even got there is, I wanted to say this, guys. I wanted to give a shout out. I wanted to give a shout out to Akon. If you all have been around and you have seen my social media posts, and you know Akon, the rapper in Senegal, Africa, is building his own little community, $6 billion community called Akon City. And he even has his own cryptocurrency. And so I started saying all of those things to say, shout out to the entrepreneurs, the go-getters, the change makers, the never, who love the haters. You know, who goes out there and does their thing and says, you know what, just because somebody else says that I can't do it doesn't mean that I can't. Akon is a dream maker. He inspired me to dream even bigger. And so I just want to give a shout out to him and to every staffingpreneur who feels that entrepreneurial energy and know that this is meant for them. Absolutely love it. Kara said, watching in Rhode Island. Love your energy. It's contagious. Woo, listen, girl. You can't do nothing but get fired up when you're talking about money and impacting lives. What's better than that? Right. What's better? Okay, so Anthony said, I'm super excited about this business. I want to dive into some of the questions here, and then I'm going to kind of fill my stuff in. The first question was from Monty. Hey, Monty. Are there any certifications required to start direct hire staffing? There are no quote unquote certifications to start a staffing business at all. However, there are certifications in staffing. More along the lines, I feel like on the sourcing side, I do feel like there are new certifications popping up. There are definitely certifications on the HR side as well. So and contingent workforce, there are a lot of certifications that are floating out there. I would never tell you that a certification would not benefit you. Any type of certification that you decide to go after would always benefit you. If you're not consistently learning, if you're not consistently adding to your repertoire, then you're going to stay stagnant. A lot of these companies that you see alive today are going to die throughout this whole pandemic because they're not thinking 10 steps ahead, and they're not staying abreast of what's actually going on. And let me tell you right now, the world is moving at a pace that is just unprecedented, right? I will say, though, you don't need per se a specific certification in order to understand the business. All you need is to understand how the business works, how to do direct hire. One of the things that I pride myself on in this course is that on the setup course, or when I'm teaching my staffingpreneurs, forget the course, when I'm just talking to my staffingpreneurs, staffing is a sales business, but it is also a psychological business, right? And one of the things I love about my conversations with staffingpreneurs is that everything is not always about what's tangible, like what you're physically doing. Sometimes it's about you being able to understand what a person is actually saying or doing, or what needs to be said or done based on what's being presented to you. And that's the psychology behind the business. And I feel like a lot of times when you get with someone who's working in the business now, or who was recently working in the business, they are going to understand that psychology a little more intently than a lot of the places that are delivering the certification programs, because they are more on the educational level. So do both. Get yourself in a position where you do your certs and you get yourself a good coach, somebody who's working in the business and understands what's going on. I hope that was helpful. Monty, you're amazing. Chastity said, that's amazing. I've been here 5 years contracting. I love that. They're not giving it for free. I checked into a few. Okay. Okay, perfect. Getting my dose of D to get fired up for the end of the quarter, Aaron. Yes, Aaron, get in. See, Aaron's getting me all fired up right now. I love Aaron. That's what I'm talking about. All right, here's another question. Andrea, how are you, Andrea? So glad to see you here on my YouTube channel. Make sure if you're on my YouTube, subscribe and like, because I like you. First of all, I like you too. Okay, so what if a client prefers temp to hire instead of direct hire? Do you suggest offering both services? So a great staffingpreneur doesn't offer any services until they take the time to sit down and to understand exactly what the client is experiencing and what their goals are, right? So I would never go to a client and say, this is what we offer, because I would not want to go into the Mercedes dealership or the Range Rover dealership and they say, this is all we have to offer. I expect somebody to come up to me and say, tell me a little bit more about yourself. What do you do for a living? How often do you drive? What's your social status? I expect for them to start asking specific type of questions so they know whether they need to sell me an SUV, whether they need to sell me a sports car, because right now I probably need a sports car. I'm driving in my SUV, but you know what I'm saying? So you want to customize your services to your client. So what you want to do, a better way about going about it is, when you're asking questions to your client, ask them, tell me a little bit about how you're currently staffed today. How big is your current team? What is the core focus for your team? Is everybody full-time? Is everybody, are they temp or contract, right? Find out, so you want to start getting kind of the logistics. And then you want to find out the things that are concerning to them. Are they more concerned about having somebody in the role fast? Are they more concerned about having somebody in there that's of quality? Or are they more concerned about having someone in there at a cost-effective level? When you understand that as well, then you can start to think about in your mind, okay, well, if they're thinking about cost and they want somebody fast, then we probably want to do something like contract. If they tell me they're nervous about bringing somebody in full time because the last 3 people that they hired, they ended up firing them, then you should automatically offer contract to hire so they can try the candidates out before they decide to hire them. If they say that, so you have to listen. This is what I'm talking about that we teach in the course is the psychology. You have to listen to what they're saying so that you can start to understand what value you can actually bring to them. I do not teach selling cash cows. There's no reason for you to deal with any hiring manager at any level, just selling him anything. You should already be going into the conversation having somewhat of a general idea of what types of problems your niche industry are experiencing, both people and business, right? Because if you do that, then when they come to you and they start to tell you what's going on, you'll be able to put those packages together. I know I got real passionate about that, but Andrea, I hope that was how I'm going to sit back. I got so passionate, I moved up. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to sit back here. Okay. So, Andrea, I hope that was helpful. Hey, Yvonne, I'm so glad that you're here. I have my business in place, but how the heck do you establish credibility in an industry being new? Pontress, that is an amazing question. It is all about what I spoke about earlier, which is building the personality of your business out. It's building your brand. Brand is how you establish your credibility. It's about understanding your niche market. When somebody is starting a niche recruitment and staffing business and they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people as a team, I'm not talking about the amazing Ronstadt who has 10,000 offices or 10,000 employees or manpower. They have the bandwidth. You are starting as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 man firm. You don't have the bandwidth to take on an entire industry. So you should, or 50 different industries rather. So you want to focus on a specific niche space so that you can give yourself the ability to repeat over and over and over again, so that you can give yourself the ability to create content, thought leadership, thought-provoking, meaningful, valuable content for both the clients and the candidates in your market, because those are the things that will create credibility. And you'll do that. Like we go through this in step 4 or 5 or whatever in the setup program where we start to create our execution strategies. And your execution strategies in the setup phase are all about how you're going to get candidates and clients when you get to the run it phase, when you start running the business after you launch. And those execution strategies are typically tied in to your brand, because you really cannot sell or because selling is not what it used to be. Let's get this clear. Okay. Back in the day, selling was knock on a door. Are you interested in my product? Selling doesn't work that way. You'll get turned down immediately. Okay. Selling is about solving a problem. It's about being the solution to a problem. So you have to look from that perspective. So if selling is from that perspective, if we're no longer going door to door and selling randomly, but we're actually selling a solution to a problem that's happening, that means that your thought, the way you build out your execution strategies, the way you build out your brand, the conversations that you're having with both your clients and your candidates become very different. It's a very different process when you understand how to actually sell. You're selling a solution. And when you do that and you incorporate that into the brand, you establish your credibility. And when you establish your credibility, that lets people know that you're somebody that they can trust to work with. The second half of that, once you start to establish your credibility, and this is the part that many people have a hard time with, and to some degree, I do too. So I'll be very transparent. My children tell me all the time, don't be a hypocrite. They're so rough on me. Okay. So me too, but being consistent, right? Because that's the one thing most people don't know how to do. They start out, okay, yes, I'm starting a business. I'm building my brand. I'm going to go out there and get my lead magnet, put it together, put it out there. I'm going to do a webinar, 3 webinars in, we don't hear from them, right? Or so you have to be consistent. The reason many people on this channel that are watching me have been on this journey with me since 2008, since when I was working for someone else. And you all have watched me quit my job twice, start a business twice, right? And build out this brand from scratch. Many of you have been following me for years, right? And so that consistency of constantly being there brings credibility and brings trust. And that is everything. That is everything. You got this, girl. You can do this. You can definitely do this. I love this. Andrea said useful information. Thank you. Andrea said, what about small business loans? How much of a financial cushion would you suggest starting out for temp to hire payroll? I've researched clients typically pay every 30, 60 days after the employee starts. Yeah, so I always say you should have 3 months of salary in your bank account in advance before before you ever start even the hiring process, right? I say at a minimum, if you're running your own payroll, you want to be somewhere between 35,000 and 250,000 if you're running your own payroll. And that also depends on the niche. But there are companies that we work with as well that can help with financing a portion of your payroll, all of your payroll, and many other different, creative financial options for employee payroll. So it just depends on exactly your goal and your mission. There's a video coming out on my YouTube channel. We talk about the startup cost and how people come into 3 different phases. Actually, I'm going to, maybe I can share that with you, and this will answer that question a little bit better. I'm giving y'all, I guess, like a sneak peek now to the YouTube video, that's coming out. But maybe this is exactly what you all need. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Of course, when I want to find something, I can't, but I know where I hit it at. So let me show you. Here it goes. Okay, so let me share my screen here with you so you can see. There we go. All right. Okay, so like your setup cost. So first of all, let me say this. I don't care if you use me or somebody else. There are at least 2 other staffing coaches out here on the market that I would vouch for and say that they're absolutely freaking amazing if D. Williams is not the one for you. But you need a coach. If you've never ran a staffing business before, I don't care if you've been an HR executive. If you have never ran a staffing business before, you need to hire a coach, whether it's D. Williams or someone else. I am not too prideful or egotistical to say that. I'm not for everyone. I am straightforward. I'm passionate. I'm loud. I'm going to tell you if it ain't right, and I'm going to congratulate you and love on you if you're wrong. Some people say that I talk condescending. I don't believe I do. I think I talk with love, but I am from Maryland, and we are, we got those sharp tongues, but I never mean any harm. My goal is always to push you out of your comfort zone, because most people are afraid and feel like they're not good enough. And most coaches are afraid to push people and afraid, thinking they're going to hurt their feelings. Forget that. No, if you're trying to get somewhere, let's get you to where you need to go. You love me later, be mad at me now. I love you now. Let's do it. But I'm not for everyone, like I said. So find a coach. So your setup costs should include your coaching. Okay. So if you're on a bare budget, like a bare budget, you could probably do this business from 3 to 5K. But when I say a bare budget, that means you're developing everything and you will not be able to outsource anything. Your time, you're going to be paying, instead of having 250,000, you're going to be paying for it in time. It's going to take you much longer to set up than the person who are in the other 2 phases. If you are starting this business and you're functioning on the middle section where you have somewhere between 6 and 34,000, you're not going to be as good as the person with 35 to 50, but you're going to be in a good space. You'll be able to set up in 7 weeks. You'll be able to outsource the majority, or at least a lot of the things that you have on your plate, which is going to free up more time. It'll give you the ability to not just launch your business faster, but to actually create automated systems to work on your behalf for you. And when somebody who is, when you're able to outsource that and that's their specialty, it'll make your job a lot easier. And then if you have 35 to 250, this is a very interesting space because people who are coming in with a large amount of money like that, sometimes they don't want to work with other funding companies. They have a team. Like I have clients that have a whole team of 5 or 6 people. They've all put their money together, or they got a loan, or they've been doing whatever they've done. And they're like, okay, D, we're ready to get started. But before we do that, what do we need to do? And I actually go out there and help them set up their office and different things like that, and help them to actually build a physical staffing business. Typically, if you're in the space, you're thinking of your business at a much larger a vision. You have a much larger vision for your business than the folks that are in these 2 phases. So setup is based on, and one more other thing I wanted to say really quickly is when you start thinking about the setup of your business, understand that everybody has their own idea of what beauty or what their standards are, right? So like I have one client in Texas, she paid $7,000 for her website. I've got a young lady who is a single mom and on a budget, making like $11 an hour, and spent the last year trying to put this business together, not giving up. And, you know, she spent $50 on a theme and built her website, right? So she didn't have so everyone has their own idea of what beauty or what standards are to them. So that's why that range can vary so much. I do have a video coming out, as you can see, that's going to go through it in a little bit more detail and kind of tell you where you're going to be allocating your money. And so I hope that will be helpful. Also, if you go to staffingpreneursacademy.com, I'm going to show you right here, because this will give you some really good help. If you go here and click on this button right here, it's an idea. There's it's free. You're not going to be, you don't have to buy anything. It's free. You can get a free PDF that talks about everything you need to know if you're thinking about starting a business, like how long it's going to take, what you need to have, what you need to know, all of those different things. And then that's just to download the ebook. If you want to get the video and audio version to listen to your car, it's like $7 or $17 if you want it. You don't need to get it. You can just get the book and read it. But I wanted to make it available for people who were on the go as well. Okay. So I just wanted to throw that out. Andrea, I gave you a lot of love, girl. I hope that was helpful for you. That's all I can say is I hope that was helpful for you. TJ said, I will be a staffingpreneur in Jesus' name. Woo! TJ is so funny. I love it. Bontra says, thank you. RJ says, amen. Also, which is better, to be a sole proprietor or an LLC? Probably an LLC, but you need to talk to an attorney. If my attorney even thought that I was giving out legal information, he would kick my tail. So I'm not really, but maybe really. So make sure you talk to an attorney, but I would think an LLC. So that you can, thanks AL, she answered it. You mentioned earlier in a different segment that Wix website shouldn't be used. Can you elaborate? I don't really want to elaborate here because I'm so visible. What I will say is that a WordPress website is created for content, for search engines. And it's also created to allow you to expand the content on your website. You want to be found. You want to be a part of the search engines. Because WordPress is a content management system, it's almost like it gives priority on the search engines, right? So Wix is not set up that way. Square, like a lot of those other ones, aren't set up that way. They aren't necessarily content management systems. In addition, you can add an e-commerce store. You can add a training portal. You can add so many other things to a WordPress website. It just makes your life a little bit easier. So I hope that was somewhat helpful for you. Let's just see. KB said, I respect that. Thank you. I call it brash, but I love it. Yeah, probably a little brash. My kids say I'm militant. They say that I am my son told me y'all never gonna believe this. My son told me the other day that they were watching. That's my mama, y'all. Say hi to my mom. Hey, say hi, mom. That's my mom, y'all. Say hi to her. Hey, mom, I didn't know you were here. I'm glad to see you. I hope you're having a good day. So my son told me that they were watching Matilda and they said, I'm like the principal of Matilda. I thought that was horrible. But he was like, Ma, you keep everybody in line. You help people reach their goals. They need that. I was like, okay, I appreciate that. So that's cool. Make sure y'all give a shout out to my mom. Please say, hey, Ma. Hey, Dee's mom. Yes, of course, Ophelia is being it's being recorded. Guess I have to wait a little bit because I only have 5K to 7K right now. You can still do your business with 5K to 7K. You don't, because you can get payroll funding if you need it, depending on your niche. You don't have to wait. And like I said, I've got a young lady who's been working on her business for a long time. You have to respect the pregnancy time. So I wouldn't say quit your day job and start this business and expect funds to come immediately unless you have like a very well-established network. But I will say that, you can come into this and really start moving and building it on the back end until you're ready to get to the launch phase so that you're moving and you're progressing and you're not just staying stagnant. Because the last thing you want to do is wait until next year and be like, I wish I could have done it. You don't know how many people say that they've been dating me on YouTube for 2 years, 6 months, 3 years, 5 years. Shout out to my YouTube subscribers. And shout out to everybody that's watching from YouTube. Please hit that like button and subscribe so you'll know. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll know when I'm going live again, so we can have fun together. Okay. So I say get into it now, but that's totally up to you. It has to be with you and your inner power, your inner energy tells you. Okay. I know for me, if it's something that I want to do, I just start going into it and start building over time. Because I feel like my passion and my drive and my will be so strong that the thing that I need the most, the thing that I desire the most, God's going to bring it to me, period. That's what faith is. So many people talk about they Christian or whatever, and they got faith. But when it comes to actually being able to use it, then they forget how to use it. Don't forget how to use it, right? Like you already know it's going to come to you. So go out and step out on what? Faith. That's what you got to do, period. Stuck on getting an intro script for new business. Do you have any advice? Already bought your 3-part. We've got scripts on the store and the academy. It's called a swipe file. You got the intro for the new business. That's a great one. But you also, I would check out the swipe file. The swipe file is really good as well. It's got not hundreds, but probably 20 to 50, if not more, different scripts for both the client and the candidate side of the business. That is at recruitmentstore.com. Mom says she always records. That's so nice. Yes, it was helpful. Thanks, Andrea. WordPress is the way. My favorite. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Was like, D, please get my name right. Good morning, Bianca, my beautiful. How are you? Hey, Ma, look, everybody's saying hi to my mama. Oh my gosh, we have so many comments. I'm going to stick here with y'all today. I promise you. Yvonne said, hey, Ma. DJ said, hey, Mom. Everybody said, hey, Mom. That's how we say, hey, Mama. That's how we say it in Texas. They said, we love your daughter. Oh, I know my mom. She's saying hi. Y'all are so funny. I love it. What, D, I was dating for a year. You were, what? You and I were not dating for a year. Do not be telling my mama stories, okay? All right, now, y'all are so funny. I got to go back up because it's more questions. I'm going to answer every freaking question y'all have here today. So just know that, here you go. Christopher. How do I schedule? Christopher, it should have came over this morning. So because IOs went out, if it didn't, let me know. Because I actually ended up giving you 30 minutes and not 15 minutes. So you should have that. Tasha, the course starts today. No, the course is an ongoing course. However, I am thinking about like kind of pushing a group of people in at one time, but you can sign up right now at this moment. If you got started right now at this moment, you would have immediate access to the course, and I'll go through it in a little bit later, but it's literally right now. And I can't wait for y'all to see the testimonial videos that are coming out. Rose says, tell me how to connect with you while you're in California. That's so great, Rose. Yes, because I've been seeing people while I'm here in LA. Just call my office, 866-432-8801. And somebody, either me or somebody in there, we'll figure something out. But yes, I am here in LA on the ground, launching Reskillify, which I'll talk about in another live, but I am here on the ground. Please. Okay, so that's great. Let's see what else. I want to answer all questions. Let me just see. Lavon Chi-Town, I'm ready to get my staffing agency back up and going. I need help to get on the right track. I did it before on my own with no guidance. Yes. So I always tell people that this industry is shifting like bullets. Like literally right now, technology is disrupting the recruitment and staffing industry. And I would always also say, to a degree, social media is disrupting the recruiting and staffing industry to a degree. And I'll dive into that in more detail in another live. But I will tell you that those two factors in itself is enough for you to understand that this market is changing at a rate that you will never believe. And you've got to stay on top of. That's why I redid the setup course. I redid the course because things are changing. New technology is into play. How people are being communicated to is changing. So it's not like staffing is not like it was in 1989, unfortunately. It's not. It was a little bit easier back then in some ways. But I would love to help you. The setup program is definitely there for you if you're interested. Should I hire or have someone handle social media promoting and websites and branding for my business? Now, I definitely feel like that's something you should outsource. However, you should definitely not outsource that K until you understand how that is affiliated with your execution strategies. The biggest mistake that people make about branding in their businesses is that they look at social media branding as something that they have to do. Okay, it's a chore. It's not something that is in line with their execution strategies and that are actually tied to performance goals. And when you're thinking about social media, it should be incorporated into your execution strategies, and you should be able to monitor the outcome of the activity, of the engagement of that's taking place on social media, so that you can go back and analyze to see, did I do this right? Should we make changes? Do we need to tweak? And then go back and relaunch again. And that was something I was talking about earlier. You really, really, really want to understand your client and your candidate journey so that you'll be able to create the best execution strategies and to incorporate them into your marketing and your branding activities. So, but once you define what your execution strategies are and how they integrate into your overall strategy and so forth, then you outsource that stuff so that you don't have to worry about doing that in the future. All you got to do is just stay in the loop and stay consistently analyzing what's happening, meeting with your social media team to make sure that they're not just posting random stuff. Like, don't just post random stuff. If you're going to post things, it needs to be meaningful and it needs to be able to drive people back to your business. A lead magnet, a blog, it needs to drive people back to the business, inform them and inspire them. Okay. So that's really, 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 okay. So been watching. So how do we start? So if you want to start, you can go to, and I think I mentioned this before, that's how I talk. Don't judge me. Staffingpreneurs Academy. If you want to get started, you can go right here and get started immediately. If you're still playing around with the idea, it's right here. Our course works in 3 ways. We have the setup course, we have the run it course, and let me show you this way. I will do it this way. So we have this, so it's literally broken down into 3: the setup course, the run it course, and the scale up course. Okay. And so our setup course is all about you setting up your business. We do an audit at the very end to make sure your business is set up properly. You graduate with a certificate. It's $997 one time. Then you go into the run it course. The run it is where you take everything you created for the launch of your business, and you come and you actually start executing that. While you're doing that, you learn how to run the business as an owner. You learn how to run the business working in the business from a sourcing perspective, talent attraction, and talent acquisition, from a sales and business development, from a recruiting, staffing, and onboarding perspective. And then once you land your first contract, you have candidates on billing, and you've actually received your checks, you can stay in the run it course if you want. which is also $997, and then a monthly fee of $149 after that. Or you can graduate and go to the Scale Up course, which is who I'm about to meet in about an hour or so. Those folks in that course are all making money. They all have contracts. They have money flowing through their business. Their problems and challenges are a little bit different. And so we focus solely on scaling the business, making sure you understand how to build the culture of your team, making sure you understanding your performance metrics, analyzing those metrics, understanding how to tweak your automation, and making sure that your contracts are under compliance after you, because you'll be amazed at how once you start running the business, your contracts will change. So many things will happen based on each individual client. So we go through all of that stuff in the Scale Up group. So, and that's $297 a month. So you just graduate. It's like high school, college, and grad school. Most people start out in the setup and they get the setup done, and then they get ready, and then they roll up into the running. You do not have to go into the running. Right? Some people already know how to run a staffing business and they know how to work in a staffing business. They just need the setup. So that's there for you. Some of the information in the setup is duped in the scale and the run it, because it's core information that has to be disseminated at every phase of the business. But most of the information is separate in each individual course. So that was a great question. Let me just see. Now I'm going to go in. Let me say, okay, great. Can you share 3 things you need to know when starting? This is a great question, Tia. 3 things you need to know. You need to know your market. You need to know your niche market. And not only do you need to know your niche market, but you need to understand what makes your niche market tick, right? So this is probably one of the most important things. So you need to know who you're doing business with, what the problems that they're having, how many people in your niche industry that you have the ability to work with as well. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know shit, right? You've got to know your business. You've got to know your niche market. So that's number 1. Number 2, you have to have really good comm skills and know how to listen. So what do you need to know? You need to know how to listen and to hear for what's being said and what's not being said. Okay. So that's the second thing. The third thing is technology. You have to have technology. You have to have technology. You have to have technology. It is not an option. It is not an option. And I'm not talking about no freak Excel spreadsheet. If I find out any of you are using an Excel spreadsheet as your applicant tracking system, we have a problem, right? Because this is 2020 and you're competing against 19,000 other staffing agencies. Do you really think you're going to be able to do that effectively using Microsoft Excel? And I love Excel. And you can definitely use Excel for specific things in your business, but not for your applicant tracking system. Your email should not be used for your applicant tracking system. You need your ATS. And before you ask me, I think I have a little thing up here. Somebody is always asking me what ATS do I use or do I recommend? That's at crelate.com/D. And when you reach out to them, ask them for the D. Williams setup, and they'll set up the back end for you, because that's another thing, Tia, is a lot of people will get the technology and then won't set the back end up. They'll use it raw right out of the box and not customize it specifically to their business. For one reason, they don't know they're supposed to do it. 2, it takes a long time. So my partnership with Crelate and my Staffingpreneurs, I set it up one time. Crelate was so amazing and gracious enough to allow anyone who works through me and my program that's using Crelate, that you can get the back end set up automatically. So you already have that there. And then you can tweak it for yourself as you're moving along in your business. I hope that was helpful. Watch it to see what else did I've been calling you. I licensed my business. You've been calling me? When you've been calling? Listen, my phone is ringing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I'm so sorry. Abby, congratulations. You've licensed your business already. Where's my, hold on, D, get on your ish right here. You are tripping. Here we go. Congrats, Abby. Yes. business. That is a big freaking deal. Congratulations, Abby. Now it's time to actually start building the foundation of your business so that you can get to the point of launch. Aaron, I love Aaron. He's so sweet. Let me just see. Let me see. So any groups are okay. Here we go. Hi, Dee. Hey, Kat. I just chimed in, but I wanted to know if you have any group coaching starting soon from Point Zero Setting Up. That's right. The setup course on staffingpreneursacademy.com. If you go to Staffingpreneurs Academy, you can take the setup course. And it is group coaching, because the one piece that I didn't mention is every Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern, we meet so that you can actually be accountable for the setup of your business. So it does come with group coaching as well. So I wanted to share that. Well, all my courses come with a group coaching program. I have been having business preview my LinkedIn. That's great. Wait, businesses have been previewing your LinkedIn profile. That's right. Getting that branding going, that thought leadership going. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. All successes are good successes to me, right? That's one of my amazing clients. I love Renee. She's absolutely phenomenal. If y'all are not following her on LinkedIn Live, she is the #1 person to know in the cybersecurity space today. Renee Small, she has an amazing live, an amazing podcast. Check her out. She did not pay me to say that. I just absolutely freaking believe in her, and she's so awesome, and she's proved it a million times over in the work that she's doing within her community. Absolutely love it. One of our top staffingpreneurs. Y'all show her some love in the box and make sure you follow Renee Small, and she gets some love just for chiming in on my channel, Renee. I love you, Renee. You know I do. Okay, so great. Somebody said, yes, execution strategies are so real. More so CEOs of a business. I don't know what that was about. It was something I probably said. Is it tough to find clients who offer 100% remote work with the current pandemic going on? I'm just curious about the era. I think it just really depends on the niche, and I think that's it. It just depends on the industry that you're working in. Some industries are gung-ho about 100% work. Some industries said that only existed as long as the government said that it existed. Now we're open phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, or what have you. We no longer follow those guidelines. And some industries say, heck no, you've got to be here. So I can't say that anything is tough or not. What I can say is that you've got to understand your niche market and where they are today. And one great way to get the answer to that question is by diving into your niche market and asking the right questions. Okay. Hey, Pooh, how are you? Okay, so Andrea, she's still going back on the money piece. Okay, so what about small business loans? How much of a financial cushion we already. And Andrea, we have a young lady that we work with specifically. She's live on my channel all the time, and she's in our group, and she can actually help you get a loan for the business as well. So if that comes with the setup course, the opportunity to connect with her. So you could definitely take advantage of that as well. Okay, so perfect. I think we have gotten so close. I might have answered all the questions. Okay, here we go. So what was it? Okay, we did that one. Okay, my mama, I love that. Okay, hello. I watch you for real estate motivation. I'm in real estate, but I'm starting a recruiting company. I was thinking about it when I saw you, and I said, I'm going for it. Actually, recruiting and real estate work very closely together. I thought maybe I should go and get a real estate license just because of the level of communication that I have with people on a consistent basis. I could see where like a lot of staffingpreneurs are going from, especially my staffingpreneurs that are starting this business with a little bit of cash, right? And it's their will and their tenacity and their drive that's getting them from $0 to $1 million or more, right? So those folks, I find that they're starting out in a situation where if you were looking from the outside in, you would think this person is not going to do so well. And then they go in and they kill it. And then you see their income grow. And now they're starting to think about, okay, now I want a better home for my family. I want a better car for my family. I want a better, all of those things. And I started thinking about how could I bridge the gap with those two. I haven't made any decisions, but what I will say is this: in recruiting, real estate companies, both on the commercial and on the residential side, are always hiring. So it is definitely a market there for you to tap into recruiting. I believe we have a number of staffingpreneurs who are licensed real estate agents and that are also running their very own niche recruitment and staffing business as well. I know Wanda Petty won right off the top of my head, and I'm sure a few others. So it's not uncommon to see that mix. I will say, though, Paris, that how you get paid on the direct hire side of recruiting is very similar to how you get paid in real estate. So it won't feel uncomfortable for you at all. This is Andrea telling my mama hi. People still saying hi to my mama. I love it. Okay. So Rose said, nothing like your mom supporting your dream. Hello from Cali, Mom. Yvonne said 4 years and counting. Go get it, Yvonne. And you know how much I love you. I've been dating you since I met you at your last conference last October. People see, I told you, people date me a long time before they ever buy from me, and I'm cool with that. Do your due diligence. But I promise you, I had to get IO in last 2 weeks ago. I was like, look, woman, you've been with me since 2012. Stop playing and get in this community, because I'm telling you right now, you're trying to piece things together. And it's not going to fully, you're going to always be missing something. So just come in. I promise you, it'll be worth your investment. She came in almost day one. She was like, oh my God, why I didn't do this a long time ago? You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to date me for a long period of time, but I don't just give this information out just off the fly of my head. I know what I'm talking about. So I want you to come into the community. So one, you can be a part of people who feel like you, who are like you, who are energetic, who are passionate. We're a positive group of people. You can't imagine anybody with a negative anything near me at any time, right? So we're passionate about helping people. We're all passionate about recruitment and staffing, and it's a real deal. So come on in. Okay, come on in and sign up. This is the time. Staffingpreneursacademy.com. Get in there. Michael said he's a tech guy. He said, I do my own website, still working on automation. That's a good thing if you do your own and you already know it. Online course for the setup course. It's a one-time fee of $997. It'll be the best investment of your entire freaking life. You will get way more than you have ever bargained for. All right. D, you've been such an important part of building my company, and your brashness is needed for me at least, and welcome. I love you so much for that. Because, sometimes chocolate girls get it so bad. We're so, and it's pure love. It's pure love. And Yvonne, you know that when I get on this camera, I start crying and all of that stuff. I genuinely love y'all. So if y'all screw up or whatever, and I start going after you, it's so that you can get better. Or if you're not doing the best, if I'm not seeing the best version of yourself. I had a young lady who was doing a testimonial video for me. I won't mention her name, but she's done this video 4 times. I want to say 3 or 4 times, because I refused to post this video publicly, because I told her, you are not representing the version of you that I know who you are. I'm not allowing the world to see this version of you. The world has to see the version of you that I know. Okay, so I'm not posting these. And then she came back and did that thing right. I was in here on fire. The whole freaking hotel heard my voice this morning when I saw the video, because I'm like, yes, she got it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get into people, but I push them past their comfort zone. And what I love the most are the text messages and stuff that I get, like, D, you stayed on my tail and look where I am now. You stayed on my tail and look where I am now. I fought you every step of the way, but you did not give up on me, and look where I am now. Those are the text messages and the phone calls and the emails that I absolutely live for. Dead serious. Do you have an email script I can use on a recruitmentstore.com? There are scripts on a recruitmentstore.com. I will go in and put the link here so that you can go in and see it on a recruitmentstore.com. You can visit, and you can actually go in and be able to see that. Question: okay? I got that. I love that. We did that. We did that. I think I've gotten everybody here. Let me see. So many people need and want jobs. And let me just touch on that. Not only do so many people need and want jobs, but over 1 million jobs have been lost. I think unemployment claims, those jobs have to come back. And you do know they're going to come back through agencies first, so don't get that twisted, okay? So companies also need people. We only think of staffing like people need and want jobs, but companies want and need people. Companies don't exist without people. Companies don't exist without people. Companies don't exist without people. Goes both ways. What do you do in cybersecurity? I don't do anything in cybersecurity, but Renee Small does. D, would you recommend changing from Office 365 to G Suite to better integrate? That's a great question. I would say yes, for sure. I would definitely say yes, for sure. Because for the simple fact that, because then you'll end up having 2 email addresses like me, right? Or 2 domains like me. So you definitely want to do that. And Connect 365 does so well with G Suite. And it allows you to send out those 2,000 emails a day. So it's going to definitely be more beneficial for you to do that. That was a great question. I appreciate that. I couldn't see who asked that, but I appreciate you asking that. Are you still doing one-on-one coaching? So what's the cost so I can start saving? One-on-one coaching package, 6 weeks, a 12K package. A 15K package for 12 weeks and a 25K package for 6 months. Where I do provide 3 contracts for you for the 6-month package. So, but I think I'm not doing any more one-on-ones after 2020. My brand, not just this brand, but my other brand is growing so aggressively. I just don't know if I have the bandwidth. And as the country opens up, I really want to get my feet wet on the ground and more of the communities across the country. That's why I am on the ground here in California. I really feel like recruitment and staffing and entrepreneurship and people taking control of their careers is something that we have to start talking about a little bit more aggressively. And that's something that I'm passionate about and that I'm doing. I'm not just talking about it. I'm physically here doing it every day of the week. And so I have one guy who's signing up for the 6-month package at the end of this month. And I think he will be the last person that I take on unless somebody is amazing, absolutely phenomenally amazing. I really, really think I'm going to stop my full programs of the one-on-ones, just keep my online group coaching course and then any hourly. So just throwing that out there at you. I'm on a mission. Reskillify is my focus right now. And really, we changed the name to from Mo Plan Do to Reskillify Check, which we haven't updated on my LinkedIn, but all of that is coming into play. And so that's really my focus. Y'all know I have a mission about the staff, I have a vision of how the staffing agency is about to shift. And I'm typically right in line with what I see that's coming around the corner. And I'm going to be on the forefront of that. And I'm going to make sure that every staffingpreneur that is a part of my community is on the forefront of that as well. So let's just see, building my executive recruiting comp. I love it. Have you helped individuals in the trucking industry? Heck yeah. We've got a couple of staffingpreneurs that are in the trucking industry right now. One of my favorite people, and I'm mad that her name is sitting on the top of my head. And I can't think of her name. I'll come back and give her a shout out because she's absolutely amazing. Crelate is very helpful. Crelate is amazing. They're one of my best partners. Career Builder is also one of my best partners as well. If you're looking for a job board and you want to use the Staffingpreneurs pricing package, I'll be happy to share that with you. Just put something in the box and I'll tell you what link to go to so that you can connect and get our pricing for our community. But I need to know who you are and know that you're a real legitimate person. So you will talk to me or someone from my staff. You got my number from a guy on Fiverr. That's crazy, Abby. Fiverr is such a blessing. I'm thankful that people on Fiverr are feeling the D. Williams love. That just going to show you my energy flows globally, okay? All right. That's so hilarious. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. I can't believe y'all have asked so many questions. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Yvonne said, I just posted my first open position. Yo, Yvonne! That's a big deal. That is a huge deal. Yes, that's right. Trina Renee Small is the best. All right. She is the best. I love it. What was the three things? What was number 3 of the 3 things? The number 3, I don't remember. Y'all got to go back. Don't do that to me. You know I'll be on a roll when I get it. Somebody put in the box what the 3rd thing was, and I said I can't remember. Please. Hi, Stacy. How are you? Good afternoon. How do you work with people? Do you work with people who work on a visa? I'm from Texas. Hi, Stacy from Texas. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the niche, right? So you see it a lot in IT, you see it in engineering, you see it in healthcare. So you definitely, depending on what type of visa the person has, will define how you'll be able to hire them or put them on contract, depending on the type of business that you're doing with your client. I do come across some staffingpreneurs who actually say that they want to bring in people from the Philippines or from Africa or from the tropical islands and bring them here in the U.S. for nursing because it's such a shortage. So that's also something that you can do. We have on doc, I don't know when this guy is coming. I need to check with Dana, but we have on doc a immigration attorney coming into the setup course to talk a little bit about it. It'll actually be in both the set it and the run it and the scale it, because I typically tell people, if you're not coming in with $250,000, then I would not get an attorney to start legalized sponsoring visas, and unless you have that cash to do so. So that really happens more at the scale it side. But I think it's really good for you to understand the process at the setup point and during the run it point, so that you're constantly keeping that in your mind and preparing for the next phase of your business. So I hope that was helpful a little bit, Stacy. Hi, Dee. Hi, Everjoyce. I need coaching on how to start the recruitment business, but currently on a low budget. So you can do hourly. If you go to recruitmentstore.com, I have 15-minute sessions you can do. I have 30-minute sessions, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hours. And what I'll do is I'll reach out to Dana, who manages a lot of the help desk and the finances and stuff like that. And he typically puts out like little sales on a recruitmentstore.com. So if you go to a recruitmentstore.com right now, I'll ask Dana to throw a sale up today for all newbies that are coming in, so that you all can go in and get a discount on the things that you want to purchase in the store. So you've got to be on the mailing list in order to see that and to make that happen. Okay. Ale said hello. Yes. New Philly girl from Delaware. I have amazing stuff. All the staffingpreneurs I have in Delaware are making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in their business and impacting so many lives. Delaware is a sweet spot in recruitment and staffing right now, just so you know. My mom says, please tell your community hi for me, and I'm very proud of you. Thanks. I appreciate you, Mama. There we have, who else do we have? You seem very knowledgeable. The concern is if the success is able to be duplicated with zero experience. People are doing it every day. I mean, we watch Nicole go from working 2.5 jobs, recruiting in the closet of her job, to now working her business full time. She makes, 50, 60, 70, 80,000 a week. I'm sure by now her income has gone up. I mean, most of the people that come into my community have zero experience. Like almost 90% of the people, if not 95% of the people that come into this business have zero experience. And to be honest with you, probably 95% of the industry of people who own staffing businesses that are currently generating revenue right now had zero experience in staffing before they started. So this is not a business where it's like rocket science. You just have to be really good with tech. You have to be really good with technology, meaning you're comfortable with learning new technology, implementing new technology, maybe even teaching it to your staff. You've got to have great comm skills and some really good self-worth, so you don't undercharge yourself. And you've got to have a really amazing niche market, right? You have those things and some cash in your pocket, and you can do really well. All right. Trina, my girl Trina right there. Cheryl Martinez about email question. Thanks, Cheryl. Hi, Pooh. I miss you. Hi. Yes, Philly girl. Although I have experience, I have seen many people build the biz with zero experience with success. Yes, definitely every day. Do we get the calculator and scripts in the setup course? Not in the calculator, yes, in the setup course. The scripts, no, they're in the run it course. They're in the run it course. So scripts not in the setup, calculator, yes. Contracts, yes, in the setup course. I hope that makes sense. Lots of congrats. Love your energy. Thank you so much. I love that. Number 3, you have to have technology. ATS Rose, you get points. Lots of points for that one, Rose. High five, Pooh. I appreciate that. She's on it. Number 3 is technology. Number 2, listening. Number 1 is niche. Oh, yeah, and it's all on top of it. One of my favorite setup staffingpreneurs about to rock it out in her business. Give her some love. Yvonne said, thanks, Trina Price. Absolutely. Hi, Coretta from Mississippi. Hi, Coretta. So thankful that you're here. You are our very last comment. All right, we have gone an hour and a half live. Y'all have literally kidnapped me. If you like this video and you felt like this video was helpful, hit the like button. I also want you to share this video with your communities, with your friends, with your family, if you feel like it was something beneficial. If I got you fired up, if I motivated you, if I gave you information that you feel like would inspire somebody else to step out of their comfort zone or to get up off their butt and to actually be the person that you know that they are. We see potential in people more than they see it in themselves. I want you to share this video, okay? I think it's time that we start talking about people who are really genuinely serious about helping people build businesses. And so many people can go out there and say, this person's a scam, that person's a scam, and all of that stuff. But what about the people who are genuinely interested in seeing people succeed? Nobody talks about them. I think we have to start talking about them. And each and every one of you are one of those people that want to see somebody else succeed, or you still wouldn't even be on this call right now. You would have left this call a long time ago. So share this video with someone that you know is going to absolutely impact their lives. I want you, if you are on YouTube, subscribe to this channel and hit the reminder button and comment and make comments below on every video that you see there, because I do respond to the comments. And finally, I want you all to come into Staffingpreneurs Academy. I want you to learn, get the free resources. They're there for you. Again, really, really quickly, I'll show you where you can go and get some of the free resources. This is one of the free resources. But if you actually go to staffingpreneursacademy.com and you click on the first arrow, it's an idea, you'll get access to that free resource right there. If you've started the business or if you're absolutely ready to get started right now, there is a 20% off coupon that you will get when you click this button. It'll pop up on the screen. Use it so you can get 20% off the setup course and go in and get signed up now. You'll have immediate access. If you've already launched and you have literally have all of your brand, all of your policies, all of your procedures, all of your execution strategies set up, all of that stuff is done, and you just need to figure out, how do I get the contract? How do I get the candidate? How do I run the business as an owner? You can join the Run It group. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you join the Run It group and you're not fully set up, I'm going to pull you out and put you back in the setup group, or have you join both groups simultaneously, because you're going to be very lost in the Run It group if you haven't finished the setup group, or if you're not fully set up. Okay. Once you sign up here for the setup course, you're going to get an email. First, the course, I'm going to show you actually. It's going to take you to my store. And my store, what you would do is go in and add to the cart. As you can see, there's 14 orders there. You can add to the cart. And you can go in once you add it to the cart and you pay your, the screen is going to tell you to come up and it's going to say your course can now be found on Reskillify. You're going to check your junk folder in your email, and then you're going to get your username and password, and you're going to log into Reskillify, go into my courses, and then you're going to start the setup course. Okay. Once you start the setup course, then you can go in. Now, some people will go to Reskillify directly and just purchase it. You can do that as well. We are literally brand new in beta phase of Reskillify, just launching. I haven't even put it out to the world yet. But you can definitely go there as well. I prefer you go to a recruitmentstore.com because we're tracking the analytics on that right now. Once you get it, you'll get into Reskillify, you'll go in. Also, once you get into Reskillify, our live class for the setup course is every Tuesday at 12 noon. And there is always a recorded replay for you, but you can bring your questions in. Sometimes people are at work and they're just listening on their ears as well. So that will be very helpful for you. Yvonne says, I need the link for my new calculator. How does it differ? Yvonne, you don't need the link. It's already in your email. Everyone who has ever purchased the calculator, they have already received the email link. Check your junk folder. It should come from Reskillify and you'll have access to it there. It comes with 3 instructional videos and the 3 calculators. So they're already there. And if you don't see it in your junk folder, email helpdesk@recruitmentstore.com and the help desk will help you. When y'all text me, it's going to take me 3 days to get back to you. If you text help desk, they can help you immediately. That's the thing. I pay them to help you. I'm not teasing you, Yvonne, but I get so many text messages per day, people asking me for things. And then they fuss at me when they don't get it immediately. And it's like, call help desk. Michael, I worked briefly with Coretta down in Mississippi. She's rocking it out down there. All right, then, girl, I'm looking for you then, Coretta. I already know you the bomb diggity now. All right, I love it. Heidi, which would you suggest, LLC or incorporate? I would suggest you ask an attorney because I'm not legally able to talk about legal stuff. But if I was legally able to talk about legal stuff, I would probably say to start out as an LLC, and then after you generate a certain amount of money, then you may want to change to an S corp. But again, that's a conversation for you, your attorney, and your accountant, not me. I can just tell you that you want to legalize your business. I have the old calculator. How can I get the new calculator? You already have it. We've already attached everybody who's ever purchased it. It's already in your email. Check your junk folder, type in your search bar in your regular folder and your junk folder that says this is your username and password and you can have access. I would not leave you out ever. I promise you. I love you so much. Do you think the turnover rates for CDL Class A truck drivers will be an issue? This is my concern. There are turnover rates that are high in just about every, and I won't say just about, but in a number of industries. And that's just the game of the industry. I think that placing truck drivers is probably one of the more challenging niches and one of the more expensive niches, right? But it's one of the niches that need staffing agencies the most. So you're right on point if you're thinking along those lines. When you're starting a business, it's not stupid or crazy to think is something hard or is something easy. But at the same time, things are only as hard or as easy as you peg them to be. For some people, like I hike 4 to 5 miles a day, sometimes more. To some people, that sounds absolutely absurd. Like, why would you even do that to yourself? For me, that's easy, right? That's something that's like, ooh, I get a grip. So I would go into the business always knowing that, yes, you'll have challenges, but you can overcome any type of challenge. And for you, you're manifesting right off the break that things are going to flow for you the way the universe says that it's absolutely supposed to flow for you. And you can demand that it flows for you with ease. Okay. So not necessarily a reason to have a concern, but definitely a reason to think about your execution strategies, and not just thinking about your execution strategies, but if this is a challenge and you know that this is a challenge for the employers and the candidates in your industry, this is something that you definitely want to talk about with your thought leadership. I would utilize, talk about retention in my lead magnets and my webinars and my podcasts in the truck driving industry, because that's a real people problem that these companies are having. And so I feel like instead of looking at it as a concern, it should be really more looked at as an opportunity for you to establish credibility and to set yourself apart. And every challenge is an opportunity for you to expand. Every challenge is an opportunity for you to expand. Every challenge is an opportunity for you to expand. Never forget that, okay? Hey, Ernest, how are you? So good to see you. Coretta, my graphic designer, shared your info with me over 2 years ago. But I love that. Look, guys, I absolutely love each and every one of you. This has been an amazing time. I typically chime in the first Wednesday of every month at 12 noon, go live and really just open people's minds up about the idea of starting and scaling their niche recruitment and staffing business. I like to answer my staffingpreneurs questions. Some of them are in classes and some of them are not, and they still need my support. Some people have been following me or watching me and they've been super stagnant in their business, and seeing me once a month reminds them that they have to get up off their butt and actually do what they're put on this earth to do. I know my job. I want, and I stand firm in my position and my purpose on this earth plane. And during this time now, I feel like it's a blessing to be alive at this moment in time. And I'm so grateful to be on this journey with each and every one of you, the ones that I'm working with directly, the ones that I'm working with in my communities, the ones that I'm working with through my videos or through my digital products. And I just want to say, do not give up. Do not stop. Just keep dreaming big. Don't let anybody ever freaking tell you that your dream is too big. Don't ever fool yourself into believing that you cannot achieve, because you can do everything that you put your mind to it. If it's in your mind, I promise you in my heart and soul that it is meant for you to at least test the waters to see if it's meant for you. Keep inspiring. Keep remembering that you're in this business to impact others. It's not just about the money and it being a lucrative business, but to impact people's lives and to help be a valuable citizen to society. I love each and every one of you. I'm really super appreciative for each and every one of you taking the time out to literally be in my class. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Oh, yes, that's right. Nakia is 20% off if you go to recruitmentstore.com. All right. I love y'all. Have a great day. Staffingpreneurs in my class. I love you. Setup course. We meet at 3 p.m. Eastern. Do not beef with me. I know we changed the date, the time. I didn't get it this morning. So we're meeting at 3 p.m. If you're watching, I love each and every one of you all. Have an amazing day and stay super positive and fired up about your business. Bye.